what do you think, how we can differentiate ourselves from all of them? Like by creating the right offer, or by like, what is the thing, how we can differentiate ourselves from the market?
Yeah, and that's a really good point, Tina, because you're right. Oftentimes the market can be flooded in certain areas.
Yeah, right.
But here's the thing, there's always space. There's always space because what we offer individually is our secret sauce, right? Our secret sauce is our personality, our energy.
So welcome, Mr. Welcome to our podcast. How are you?
Good, Cheetah, thank you so much for having me today. I'm very excited to talk about all these beautiful things between human design, limiting beliefs, subconscious blocks, and
Yeah,
clarity.
100%. Like, I'm also very excited, and seriously, I would also love to learn all those things from you, because today we are going to talk about beautiful things, like all the blockages and all the things that is stopping our viewers to move ahead. We are going to talk about the entire things. So, viewers, let's get started. So, Mr. First of all, I would love to like if you can give a short introduction of yours to our audience, that would be amazing. So, can you please give a short introduction so that they
Yes,
can remember you?
yes, of course. So my name is Mistral, and I am a manifesting generator, which is in human design, and we are going to talk about that today. But it basically means I have a lot of energy, and I love to have a lot of things going all at once. And right now, I am a human design coach, and what I do is I help activate aligned marketing strategy for women so that they can break through the noise, amplify their voice, and elevate their brand in the online space. So I really work with spiritual coaches. But in addition to that, I also run retreats, and I run retreats in all kinds of different locations of the world. And I have all of these random skills that I kind of pull together to create this beautiful, wild business that allows me to have, the freedom to be at home, and kind of do what I want. Because I was never really aligned with working a 9 to 5, which I'm sure many of your listeners can relate to, who are pursuing that entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah, 100%. So, like, before you was also into a 9 to 5 job. Like, when did you left your job?
I left my job 2 years ago. And the reason I left was I've had kids now, and I just found that when I had kids and we're just rushing everywhere, we were rushing to get to school, we were rushing to get home, we're rushing to get to sports, rushing to drop off at
Right.
daycare. And I just became sort of this really stressed person. And I was like, this is not the kind of life I want to live. And I discovered the online space. I was kind of mind blown with what people were doing there. And the fact that you could create a brand around yourself and really offer your gifts to the world, and charge money for that so that you could make an income, was really incredible. But I was hit with a lot of different parts, which we're going to talk about today, like limiting beliefs, subconscious blocks, not having clarity, that, took me a while to build what I have today.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, I look back even to a year ago or 2 years ago, or 5 years ago, when I didn't even really know about the online space, and I just marvel in the growth that I've had, because I've, instead of getting put off by those limiting beliefs, I busted through them and took action because I wanted my dreams to come true.
Right.
Which
So,
I'm
like,
doing right
it's a
now.
big decision to like leave your job and totally depend upon the particular thing. So, like, did you discover this online stuff 2 years or 3 years back?
I probably discovered the online space about 5 years ago, to be honest with you. And I was kind of following along for a while and seeing these women
Hmm.
crush it and do things like leave their 9 to 5. And I was like, wow, well, if they can do it, I can do it. Right. That was sort of my
Yeah.
mindset. And I started playing around in the online space before I gave up, but I found I couldn't do both. I struggled to be a present mom and work a 9 to 5, which honestly, my 9 to 5 was more like 7:30 to 5:30. So I really didn't have time outside of work to build a business. So
Right.
I decided to make the choice to, have me go all in, essentially. And so I was
Hmm.
working part-time for a period to help support that growth so that I did have some sort of stable income, because we all know the entrepreneurial journey is up and down, like a little bit of a roller coaster, right? You're not
Right.
guaranteed the same amount every month. But once you have clarity and you know what you're offering and you can really sell that to the world with conviction, then you create stability in your business. And that's a beautiful thing. And that's when you are able to go all in and really have that be your new job essentially, but with a lot more freedom because you get to make your own schedule. And typically your boss is a lot nicer too.
Right. So like it's a good decision that you have left your job, but there is a like this is a big decision. Like nobody is going to take this, and people are stuck in this process. Like they are like the limiting belief, as you told, that there is a problem, there is a blockages that they are not able to take the action. So like in your journey, like there will be lots of self doubt or something like that, that will I be able to do this, will I will I will be doing this for my future, what will happen or what not, will I be able to make money or not. So there are lots of things that comes to your mind. So like what about that, what do you think about this? If our viewers want to do something in their life, but there are some of the blockages there that are stopping them to do that, so what do you think about that? How to tackle all those things?
Yeah, exactly. And I do realize that I'm kind of an unusual, unique force in the fact that I'm just like, I will bulldoze through those walls. Doesn't mean that I'm not hit with the same barriers and the same limiting beliefs, but I tend to bulldoze through them because I tell myself that those are lies, right? That's the first
Hmm.
step, is lies. Of course you're good enough. You're born worthy. The limiting beliefs are there to keep us stuck and to keep us in our comfort zone. And
Yeah.
breaking down the walls is very scary for our subconscious block. And I think the hardest thing too is also whether you're doing a sort of traditional brick and mortar business or you're coming into the online space, you always feel like you're behind. I should have started this 5 years ago. I should have started this 10 years ago, because you're comparing yourself constantly to other people, because this is what our world has done to us. It's always put us in a position of competing with somebody else. And so we kind of always feel like we're behind. And we have to really be able to put the blinders on and focus in on what our heart truly desires. It can't just be about making money, right? Making money is a
Hmm.
bonus to what we do, but that can't be the reason, right? Because that's not going to
Right.
push you through that brick wall when you really need to. You have to be able to have a strong why. So what is that why? Is that why to serve other people, or is that why to bring your gifts to the world, or is that why to provide a better life for your family? And that's what gets you through a lot of the limiting beliefs and subconscious blocks, or at least I shouldn't say it gets you through it. It gets you through taking the action
Hmm.
to address those limiting beliefs, because it's not easy. It's really hard, especially if we've been told that we're not good enough or that we're not worthy by people that we love, like caregivers, school teachers, peers. And
Right.
it's hard to break through that and really tell ourselves that we are worthy and we are allowed to have everything that we truly desire, right? We wouldn't have this dream if we weren't capable of seeing it through.
So when you left your job, did you have a clear vision or clarity in your mind that what you want to do? What is your roadmap? Like, do you have an exact blueprint in your mind, or like you were just figuring out?
That's a great question. No, I did not have a clear blueprint. And I look back now and I wish I had one, because I would probably be in a slightly different position now. Not saying that what I did was wrong, just saying that what I did probably created more stress in my entrepreneurial journey than, say, somebody else's. But that's because that's who I am. That's a part of my human design, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. Is I'm somebody who, I love to experiment. I love to
Yeah.
kind of fail and learn from my mistakes and move forward from that. And that's a part of now what I teach to other women and my clients is, here is the pitfalls. How can we avoid them so you don't have to do what I did and fall into them, right? And so, but that's a part of my journey. Had I had a better roadmap, yeah, I think I'd be in a different position than I am right now. But it's also a part of the journey that I've created and what I know and understand, and now what I can turn around and give back. So I
Hmm.
do tell my clients, like, if they are in that process of either reducing hours at their 9 to 5 or thinking of totally quitting, we create a plan. It's so important to have a plan and a vision and to understand. And if that plan changes in 3 months, in 6 months, in 12 months, that's fine. But understanding how to get from where you are now to where you desire in small chunks is really, truly key.
Yeah, 100%. You are exactly right. And like you work with your client and you help them to create a plan. So like our viewers also wanted to know that how to get clarity in their mind, because if they are going to take any type of decisions, there are lots of things that bother them, like how to do this and how not. And there are lots of thoughts that are going on in their mind. So how to get the clarity that what they have to do, how to get started and all the things. So can you talk about the clarity part?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things I find actually when clients come to me is they don't have clarity in what they're doing, either what they
Yeah.
want to offer or how they're going to get there. And so the biggest thing is to really think about, what are your passions? What is your why? Where do you see yourself if everything worked out how you desired in 5 years, in 3
Yeah.
years, in 1 year? What does that look like? And really leaning into that. And the clarity comes from figuring those pieces out and understanding what you want to create. But it also comes from trial and error and from putting yourself out there and figuring it out. But one thing I do notice is a lot of entrepreneurs tend to say, well, what I offer helps everybody, right? But when
Mm.
you're speaking to everybody, you've all heard this before. When you speak to everybody,
Yeah.
you speak to everybody, right? And so it is really finding clarity in those key pieces of, if it's not about a person that you're serving, it's about the transformation that you're providing and getting very clear on what that creates. And oftentimes, even as we're starting out and we don't have testimonials yet, and we don't really have proof that the transformation works, oftentimes the proof is in ourselves, right? Because we've gone through that transformation that we now want to teach to others. And so we can just
Right.
start with having clarity in what we created in ourselves. But
Hmm.
that is, clarity is key. It really is, in understanding what you want to create.
Right, 100%. Like, first of all, we have to have a clear niche, like where we are going to work on, like what is our niche. Secondly, we have to identify the correct market, like in which market we are going to serve. Like, we are not going to serve to anybody, everybody. We have to have a specific market where we are going to serve them. And then we have to identify the entire stuff. So after doing all those things, you will definitely get the clarity that what you should do. So, like, beautiful, beautiful, amazing. And as you told about the like in the market, there are lots of competition. Like if you will go to any of the market, there are lots of competition. There are lots of competitors who are providing the same thing in a lesser price, and there are lots of hassle of doing all those things. So what do you think, how we can differentiate ourselves from all of them? Like by creating the right offer, or by like, what is the thing, how we can differentiate ourselves from the market?
Yeah, and that's a really good point, Tina, because you're right. Oftentimes the market can be flooded in certain areas.
Yeah. Right.
But here's the thing, there's always space. There's always space because what we offer individually is our secret sauce, right? Our secret sauce is our personality, our energy, and the transformation that we provide. That's it. It's as
Right.
simple as that. And that's what allows us to stand out. But you can't create vanilla content, right? You can't just copy what everyone else is saying, because then you just get absorbed into that mass mix of everybody else. You
Right.
have to have a point of view. You have to have a different way of doing it. You have to have something that allows you to be that secret sauce that stands out from the crowd. And sometimes that's really scary to identify that. For me, that took a long time for me to find that, because I didn't want to stand out from the crowd because I was scared. Well, what if people say mean things about me? Or what if they start telling me that I'm not good enough, or this or that? I didn't want to
Right.
be wrong, right? I didn't want to, I was kind of this people pleaser. I wanted to please everybody. And when I started to realize that that's just impossible, you can't please the 7 billion people on the planet, right? But you can please 1,000 of them. And imagine having 1,000 clients paying $100 a month. That's a great income. So when you can really niche down, like we were talking about before, and focus on the people that you will really create transformation for and block out the rest, that's where you're going to really thrive. And so that creating that brand, that personal brand, it's you. You are the magic. Your personality is the X factor, and the transformation you provide is the secret sauce.
Beautiful, beautiful. Like nobody can copy. People can copy your strategies. People can copy the stuff that you do, but nobody can copy you, who you are exactly. What is your secret sauce? So, like, if you have a good personality, nobody can copy that. Your mindset, your personality. So, try to build your mindset, your personality, and stuff. So nobody is going to copy you. The beautiful answer. So, Mistral, like, if we are talking about ourselves, that we should know who I am, we should know our personality type and all those things. So can you, like in the starting of the podcast, you told us about human design, like we have to know about ourselves, like who we are, what is our personality type, and all those things. So can you please talk about the human design, what exactly this terms means?
Yes, absolutely. So in my journey, I invested a lot in my mindset. right? That's the key thing we have to do here. You just spoke about that, Cheat, and how important it is to invest not only in understanding strategies, but ourselves and learning how to put our best foot forward. And so in my journey, I came across something called human design, and it is very complicated, but at the very surface level, it's our energetic blueprint. It's who we are. It's where our personality is our X factor, right? We were just talking about how people don't necessarily buy, you know, our course. They're buying it from us because of the energy that we infuse into it. They want that. We're the inspiration, right? And so your human design is your energetic blueprint and how you're designed to show up and interact in the world. And so what I found for a lot of my clients is human design is just almost like a gatekeeper. It just kind of opens up the floodgates of, oh my gosh, I'm home. I understand who I am. I've always known this, but now I understand that these are my innate gifts and they're not something I should be hiding. It's not something that makes me unworthy. It's not something that makes me weird, because right, weird is our X factor. So that's a good thing. But it kind of helps us come back to having the affirmation of everything about who we are is our secret sauce and is what we give out to the world. And so it's just very affirming. And so it's a rabbit hole because there's a lot of different things that connect in this body chart of energy. But it tells us a lot about the energy and how we interact with other people. It tells us a lot about how we make decisions in our business. It tells us a lot about who our ideal client is, you know, with our profile. It tells us a lot about what our innate gifts are and what our purpose is. And so we already know that deep down. Sometimes we're afraid to face it because it seems scary. And so it's just an affirmation of, oh my gosh, I am on the right path. This is what I'm meant to be doing. And so it is a rabbit hole. You can literally dive down it for weeks on end, but the pure basics are really just understanding your energetic type and how you make decisions in life, which when you understand those and you follow those, you find much more ease and flow, not only in life, but in your business as well. And it takes out sort of all the stress and frustration that we sometimes feel with building. And so yeah, I love human design just because it is affirming, it's eye-opening, and it creates a belief system or it recreates a belief system in your body that tells you that you are just perfect the way that you are.
Beautiful, 100%. So like in the human design, like what are the top 3 or 4 things that you will recommend each and every person to do regularly in their life to like achieve the things that they want to achieve?
Yeah, I think the first step in human design is finding out your energy type. So when you go to my favorite website is going to myhumandesign.com. This is not my website. This is just someone else's. And you can download a free chart. That's what's awesome. You just need to know your date of birth, your time of birth, and place of birth. And it pops up all the information about the energy that was in the atmosphere at that time, which is what's helped create you, right? Because we're all energy. We all vibrate at an energetic level. And so once you have that, you understand your energetic type, which there's 5 different types. You understand how you're designed to respond, how your energy interacts with other people in this world, and you understand how to make decisions. That's the top 3. This is the first step that I take with all of my clients, is understanding what those are and helping them step into that. And we practice that for about 2 weeks before we dive into anything else, because just that is coming back to understanding your intuition, following your body cues, how energy is showing up in your body, and kind of, if you've been told you're too much, like I was a lot of my life as a manifesting generator, I'm a trailblazer, I speak up, I blow things apart. That was too much for a lot of people. My head was way up in the clouds. It took me a long time just to come back into that energy in my business to understand that that was my secret sauce in life, in business, in my career even. That's why I was so successful in my careers, because I did those things, even though I was always pitted against other people. And so just understanding those top 3 is really key. And then after that, I would recommend going down into your profile, because that helps you understand really how you learn, how you grow, and who your ideal client might actually be when you're making courses or creating your offers and putting those together. And then after that, I would go down into your incarnation cross, because your incarnation cross, there's 192 different combinations in human design, really tells you about what you're here to do in life. And so it just affirms what you're already creating. And so like for you, Cheetah, we looked at your chart really quickly, and I don't even know what your incarnation cross was or what your gates are that tell you your gifts. but already I can see that you have one business that does this really amazing service-based business for people to help their businesses grow. But then you have this beautiful side interest, right? About law of attraction and mindset. And maybe those are really your innate gifts, but you had to start here to build your mindset and your confidence and being showing up in the world. And then maybe you'll pivot, you know, and that's a beautiful thing. Or maybe this one will always be a hobby. It doesn't really matter, but it's understanding, you know, that interaction and how you show up in the world that creates the success. And I'm not saying like you didn't know your human design and you have success. You don't have to know your human design to have success, but it's for people who feel stuck and they're not moving forward and they're stuck in the clarity and they can't break through the limiting beliefs or the subconscious blocks. That's where human design really sort of just unlocks a lot. And I work mostly with women. I have had some men clients, and it does like kind of blow their mind once we get down into the depths. But for women, I feel we've had a lot of oppression that really has held them back, especially moms, because suddenly they're in a mom role, they're at home, they're not feeling like they're contributing financially to their family. So there's all these sort of other blockages that then come up with just that part as well. So anyway, I went on a tangent, but the point is that it really just comes back into grounding into who you really are, which allows you to find clarity and move forward with confidence.
Yeah, amazing. Like before seeing my chart, you told me that I have an interest in serving people. I have an interest in like helping people out, all those things. You told me about my business. You told me about me before knowing about me. So that was amazing. Like this really works. So guys, you can just check it out. Apart from that, Mr. Like as you helped me out on all those things, like you are also helping people by like your coaching program, or like you are helping people by your mentorship. So how people can connect with you and what exactly do you do and how you can help our viewers to like achieve success in their life?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me over on Instagram. My name is Mistral, but my business name is To Living in Flow, because I'm all about being in alignment, being in flow with your life and what that creates. So that's my Instagram. And over there, I talk a lot about human design. I talk a lot about showing up in who you are, standing in your power and creating from a space of alignment. And what I offer is I have, of course, one-on-one mentorship that you can work with me one-on-one to kind of dive deep if you're feeling stuck in your business, get clarity. We cultivate a marketing strategy that works for you. But I also have a membership that's just an ongoing membership that you can join to learn more about human design and learn how to take those skills that you learn and put those strategies into your marketing so that you can just feel more aligned and get away from that ick. If you're feeling icky in your marketing, you're doing it wrong. And this will transition you out of that.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. So for connecting with you, they can just go to your Instagram profile. You are most active on Instagram, right?
Most active on Instagram, man. I love chatting in the DMs. So feel free to ask questions in the DMs. Come say hello, ask me your questions. I oftentimes do polls on my stories about learning about your human design. What do you want to know? I go live every Tuesday morning with another human design expert who talks a lot more about wealth consciousness. And so between the two of us talking about business and marketing and wealth consciousness, you'll glean a lot about there's a lot of great free resources that we offer to help you grow and find clarity in what you're doing.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. So for like, I will just give the link in the description for the Instagram. So you can just go to the Instagram and connect with Mistral. Like that would be amazing. After all, like Mistral, we will like, there is some questions that left in my mind and I definitely want to talk to you about that. Like you talk about lots of things about manifestation. You talk about like attracting things towards yourself. So if we have a clear vision, if we have a clear clarity in my mind that what we are going to achieve in next 6 months, so what are the steps that we should follow so that manifestations or the universe will also work in our side? Like I hope you got to understand like what I'm trying to say, like how universe can also help us to achieve all those things. What should we do? Can you give me an action plan or few steps that we should follow?
Yes, I do love talking about manifestation. So I'm so glad that you brought this up, Chetan, because manifestation is beautiful. And I have manifested a lot in my life. And what my process that I do it with is first you have to have the clarity, right? Everything comes back to being clear on what you want. You can't tell the universe that I kind of think I want this because it doesn't know what to serve you up, right? You've got to have the clarity and the conviction of knowing that you're worth it. And the next step is once you have that sort of visualization, because some people like to journal, some people like to meditate, some people like to walk. And like I'll oftentimes walk down the street and walk my dog, and I'll be talking my visualizations out loud. Like people walking by are probably like, what is that girl doing? But this is for me, this is how I give that conviction, right? You can hear it in my voice now. I love to have these conversations with myself. So that's one thing that
Right.
I do. So it doesn't matter which method you use, visualization, meditation, talking out loud, journaling. What matters is the feeling that it creates within inside of you, because then you're energetically matching what you want to create. You have to be at an energetic match. And so anytime you have a limiting, like if you're visualizing and then there's somewhere in your subconscious or some feeling, this is what comes back to the human design, feeling in your body where you're feeling a block or like that sort of heavier, dense energy, you've got to get that out of there, right? And how we get that out of there is simple techniques of unblocking your subconscious mind with that. And some of those things could be, okay, what is the block? Asking yourself, what is that block? Seeing what comes up, and then immediately disproving it. You have to disprove it in whatever way possible. So let's say something is coming up like, well, that could never happen. I could never earn that amount, or I could never see myself living in this place because of these reasons. You have to then say, okay, well, actually, I am capable of doing this, and this is how, right? This is where I am worthy, and writing that out. Because if you believe you're worthy, the universe already knows that you're worthy, but the universe has to know that you believe it, because if you don't believe it, it's not going to serve it up for you. Another thing I love doing is having like a rubber band. Oh, like, and you can snap yourself. A limiting belief comes into your mind. Boop. Ow, that hurt. Okay, that up, right? And so that gets it out of your mind and kind of switches that belief into a positive belief. So it's always that positive reinforcement. And do it daily. Do it daily.
Amazing.
Spend 5 minutes on your visualization daily, whatever that looks like for you.
Amazing.
You
This
add
was
anything to that,
amazing.
Chicken? What's your, because I know you love this too. So what would you add to that? What would you do?
Yeah, in the manifestation part, like I love to talk about, I am a big believer of law of attraction, and I am a big believer of vision board. Like vision board is the thing that I love to do, because whenever I have put anything in my vision board, I don't know how that like automatically comes to my life. Like I don't know how it is like how the universe is working, but what's going on. Like if I put anything in my vision board, I see those things daily in my life, in my regular life. And all those things attract towards me. So I love to do the vision board. Apart from that, I am also a believer of crystals. I love to have crystals in my hand and just meditate and think about all those things. Have a good energy of my crystals. And whenever I put the crystals in my hand and whenever I start meditating, automatically good thoughts and the thoughts related to my vision, related to what I wanted to do, comes to my mind automatically, because I have energized my stone and crystal by doing this thing regularly in my daily life. So I love to do all those things.
Yeah, those are great additions. I oftentimes use crystals, so thank you for sharing that. I love another thing is if you have a special type of incense that you like to burn while you're visualizing, because then whenever you smell that, it'll automatically bring on that energetic feeling, right? Of like, oh yeah, that's my visualization. And so if you have it at home, but then you go to the cafe and it's burning the same incense, then you get, so it's just like a reinforcement, right? So it's like all those little things, carrying those crystals in your bag or in your pocket so that they're close by when you need. I have my this is my vision board right here on
I
my
have my vision board in my
every day.
wallpaper. If you want, in the laptop's wallpaper. So yeah, exactly the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Amazing.
There's no right or wrong way of doing it. It's to pick what feels good for you. This is what I
Yeah,
come
the
down
feelings
to.
matter. Right.
Feelings matter. It's the energetic match. And I used to get so stuck up on, am I doing it right? I think I'm doing it wrong. Oh my gosh, I'm not doing it right. It's not working. Well, it's not working because I'm so worried that it's not working. I'm so worried that I'm not doing it the right way. And that was a part of my limiting belief, was
Yeah.
realizing as a manifesting generator, I need to do things different every single day. So some days I meditate, some days I go for a walk, some days I journal, some days I, sit and meditate with my crystals, some days I work on my vision board. It doesn't matter. Other people need routine and they need to do the same thing every day, right? To make it work. But you have to, yourself best, and stop looking outside of yourself for the answers, because you have them all within you.
Right, 100%. And you should have a specific place. Like in mine, like what I do is like I have a specific chair right there in that particular chair, whenever I like wants to meditate, or whenever I wants to like think about my vision, I just go and sit at that chair. Automatically all those thoughts comes to my mind, because that is a place that is only for meditating. So that
Yep.
specific chair, I whenever go towards those chair, and whenever I sit there, automatically all the thoughts and all the stuffs comes to my mind. So like it's the energy and the feelings that I have with that chair.
Yes, yes. And it sounds silly, like we're laughing about it, but it's like that works, right?
Yeah,
That's
that
your
works. Like there should be a specific place. Like for working, we are working on my table, on my office table. While
yep.
sleeping, we go to our bed. So there
Mhm.
should be a specific place. So for meditating, for visualizing. So that works for me. I don't know that will work for you or not, or persons or not, but I have a specific place for doing each and everything. For
Yeah.
eating, there should be a specific place. For doing the dinner, there should be a specific place. For sleeping, there should be a specific place. So whenever you will go to that particular area, automatically your minds get a trigger that now it's time for sleeping, now it's
Yeah.
time for having the lunch, having the dinner,
Yeah.
working and everything.
Yes. No, that's brilliant. I love that. I
Yeah.
don't do that. But maybe I'll try it and let you know, Cheat, and how it works. You'll
Yeah.
get like a special pillow or something. My manifest
Yeah.
as my visualization pillow.
Yeah, right. So in my case, it's work good. Like whenever I sit at this chair, automatically my brain get a trigger that now it's time for working. Now totally
Yep.
focus on work. And whenever I go to like that's the thing. I hope you got it.
I
So
did.
yeah, so thank you so much for this podcast. This was amazing. Like we have talked about lots of things, and our viewers are also engaging with all those things. Viewers, you can just drop us the comment section if you have any doubts, anything you have in your mind. You can just share us with in the comment section. Apart from that, you can definitely connect with Mistral. I will just going to drop the link in the pin comment as well as the description box, so you can just check the description box and connect with her and learn lots of things, achieve success in your life, and keep subscribing and following both of us. Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you so much for your valuable time.
Yes, you're welcome, Cheat, and thank you.